everybody, this is Caitlin here and welcome to today's video for Card Game Tuesday. I'm actually recording this at the weekend because this weekend is the pre-release for Ancient Knights for Force of Will. And I thought since last time we had a lot of fun recording little things for the starter deck tournament and whatnot, I thought why don't we make another vlog for this release of Ancient Knights. So I'm heading in there today to get a treat as per usual. We had a pre-release yesterday. I couldn't go because I was working, but they're doing a pre-release all weekend so I can attend the Sunday one, which is awesome. So I don't think numbers will be as high for today. I think most people were going to the Saturday one, but there's still at least a decent turnout or whatever for Sunday, so we'll definitely be going to that. I believe we will be getting the Triton promo and whatnot, and there's a chance to win that playmat of that new Dragonoid that got revealed or whatever. I think there's two still available, one for the winner and one that's random rolled for this event, so fingers crossed, and fingers crossed that we get some epic pulls. From the report that we got from yesterday, the Pandora was pulled, and so was the Elf Ruler. Freela wasn't pulled yet, so there's still a chance that will be puller, fingers crossed. And no Ubers as of yet, so who knows what we're going to end up pulling. But I'll definitely be recording what I'll be pulling and whatnot, and give you a little update and stuff on what's going on. So let's head on down to Geek Retreat and get our booster packs.
Yeah, get it open, go.
Not show people
stones and stuff are down here.
Thanks. Really, I've got it.
So are the basic rulers. Feel free to grab them once you're done.
That's fine. I'm fine with this.
That is either.
Oh, you got the bushy. You got bushy girl.
His girl has bando. I have to throw it at you and
Throw it at you and be like, hey, I got your waifu. Or husbando rather.
Like magic for better. It's like, you know how to no. Oh, okay. I'll probably will learn it later on. Oh, sorry. Oh, that is very nice. Oh god, this thing should
Pig is best card.
Yeah.
No, I'm waiting for the leaf one. I can't remember its name. It's the one with the best face on it. I can't remember the name of it.
oh my god, I can't get this back up.
I know, right?
So that's basically how much stuff
There we go.
Ooh, nice.
So, like, mana,
Ooh. I really like the new full art foil things. They're really nice.
Oh no, I know what he's building. Oh no.
We have a bushy girl.
Yes, we have board white girl.
So you gotta be like.
I got 8 peg.
I got one pig.
Well,
you hold on this for gold.
one of my colours is immediately
That's pretty
decided.
good.
I must play
nice,
black.
no,
I must play husbando.
Oh, nice. I also got this as well.
I'm gonna pull golems backed up with removal.
Okay, so I've got two super.
I have to play husbando girl.
Husbando girl.
Also, because he just blows everything up.
It's just not.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of good in a draft.
He comes in and goes everything dies. Girl seems good in
Gil
draft.
seems pretty good in draft.
Yeah, he shows up and blows up the entire board and becomes
No,
enormous.
bad thing about this card is.
He gets +100 for everything that dies.
that go?
I'm going to get back.
Bubble golem.
Did I get a good black as well?
So what does
Super
mobilize do?
So
You
basically,
have to pay it or you can't attack a block.
Okay.
You have to pay its cost.
he bet me to it.
Oh, I might have to go in black. Oh, dark riding hood.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Oh,
Oh my god.
I will use
I'm so keeping up.
I think we're in black.
Oh, you got fail. Nice.
Oh,
That's who we wanted to see.
Okay.
What? No.
I didn't get one of them.
Nice.
Oh. That's nice.
Fill our Wolfram. Here.
That is
Got him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Just got a ruler.
Ayo.
Hey.
Another Pandora, nice. That's us seen all 3 rulers over the weekend.
Yeah.
Happy days.
Oh, wait, what? Okay. I think I'm just going black.
It's just a berry.
Wow, my packs
Yeah.
have been
I put it down on the
amazing.
spot. I'm like,
Holy
oh, right. It's like that one's purple.
It's not full art though. It's not full art, is it?
It's not, but it's not super rare.
Possible
Yeah,
It's
it's not
above super rare.
Possible interest.
No.
What, Pandora?
Oh, oi, pre-release now. No. Pay. Get in here.
Oh, this was in the.
Yeah, they put cards in the star deck and the actual.
Finally back from the pre-release, and oh my goodness, was it quite a fun pre-release indeed. As you saw earlier on from the footage and whatnot, I didn't pull anything that was like spectacularly amazing or whatever, nothing to go like, oh my god, over. So nothing that was like too standoffish, like this is great, this is brilliant and whatnot. But in terms of other people pulled some pretty awesome stuff. My friend Josh ended up pulling a full art Freyla. Someone else pulled a full art Pandora for the release. We got 2 more rulers, and then my friend Liam ended up getting the kind of secret alternate art for Gil Lapis that was based on the April Fool's dating sim artwork and whatever for Gil Lapis and everything like that. So he ended up pulling that, which is what you saw earlier on in the video. So that was a pretty cool pull. In terms of like what deck I ended up constructing, it was a pretty janky deck. There wasn't really any like mad combos or anything like that. I used the draft yellow ruler, who's basically like kind of like a proxy for the panda, but not really. So it's like a kind of diluted version down of that one, because I mainly had like some decent stuff that made gems. So I figured, you know what, I'll go with that and stuff like that. So it kind of worked better in my last game. The first 2 games I got absolutely annihilated because sadly, out of all my cards and whatnot, all my packs, I didn't really draw too many like resonators. Like I felt like I mainly got chants and whatnot, so that's where I kind of had a little bit of an issue where I mainly had spells and not many resonators that worked well. My deck ended up being like light, wind, and water. Mainly light and wind. There was like a splash of water mainly just so I could have a few more resonators, because literally out of all my light and wind stuff, I really didn't have a lot of resonators. So it was mainly there to like kind of buff up numbers a little bit more. But the first 2 games I got absolutely annihilated in. There was like no contest there. I just got wrecked. The last game though was actually pretty funny. Our first game took up the majority of the time, and it was mainly because I built up such a big board. So the real kicker was the golem, who is basically the 0-1500 that pays 1 void to mobilize. Basically, I stalled out the majority of my game because of that card, because I just kept blocking stuff whatever with it and mobilizing each turn. In order to block and everything like that, and then I just slowly built up my board and whatnot. And there was a point where it was like I had like 5 different color gems on my ruler, and like I think I used like, I can't remember if it's I think it was Jewel Sword to like buff up. I think it was like the White Raven or maybe something else. Like it was some bird I buffed up to swing in, like to fly over whatever, because my opponent didn't have any blockers for flying. So we ended up, I technically won that round because it was like we went to game 1 and then game 2 went to time, so there was no winner there. So I technically won that round, whatever. But you know, I came 7th out of 8, so wasn't really too impressive. I ended up getting my Triton promo and whatnot, so I was pretty happy with that. And happier even still, I managed to get the random roll for the other playmats. So the way that we normally do it at Geek Retreat there, which is where I went to for my pre-release, because it's literally like the only place in Glasgow that does Force of Will now. For our pre-releases, we have like the winner gets a playmat, and then the other playmat gets like random rolled. So we roll a dice and obviously exclude the winner from that, and then whoever gets the random roll wins. So I ended up getting the playmat, which I think I'm holding upside down. So this is the playmat that I got, which looks better when you hold it up this way, because obviously it's like that kind of like lengthways, whatever, where it looks nicer if you're holding it like that. Although the way that it kind of looks like that, so I suppose if you wanted, you could make it more like a kind of like 2-side mat, although, so that you know she's facing that way, although you could just like do it like that way if you wanted to do it like that. So I ended up getting this playmat of, I can't even remember her name now, is it Ophelia or Orphica or something like that? She's a Dragonoid anyway, she's like one of the new Dragonoids, whatever, the ones that, she's the card, I didn't end up pulling her, which is really a shame. I didn't really pull many like really amazing cards or whatnot. I feel like the best thing I pulled was probably, I can't even think now what the best thing I pulled was, I can't even think now, but very, very nice and very, very happy to end up getting this playmat, so I'm really chuffed there. It's like, yay, thank goodness. So I managed to get the playmat, so all in all, pretty good day, pretty hyped. I am so hyped for picking up a box of as well of the set. I was debating whether to get 3, 2, 1. I think I'm just gonna get one box, and we'll see how we go from there. Because I feel like I would be getting one box anyway because I'll be doing a booster box opening. Not this week, but the week after, because I believe I think I'm picking it up on Sunday. So I want to maybe save it in time for next week's Card Game Tuesday and whatnot. So you will probably see that box opening next Tuesday, I believe, if everything works out well and whatnot. So I think I'm getting one box. Definitely really lots of interesting cards and whatnot. And sadly, no Ubers were pulled. We were like contemplating about whether or not we would see an Uber pulled or whatever, because there's a potential to get Ubers of the starter deck rulers in Ancient Knights, which is pretty awesome. So we've seen like glimpses of what Shayla looks like and what Carrick looks like. I don't believe we've seen what the Ubers for the other three look like, but you know, people can still be having pre-releases and whatnot. They might get pulled and we might get to see them. But other than that, it was a really cool event. We had about 8 people there, which is really awesome. I think there was more yesterday, but obviously Sunday being a bit more of a quieter day and whatnot, but it was really good. We had a nice time. It was really good. Lots of banter was being had and all that stuff. So I'm pretty chuffed with how it went. Pretty happy with my playmat that I got, which you'll probably be seeing in some of the videos coming up. I'm feeling that once Ancient Knights is out and like properly out, and I've got a booster box and I've got some cards, whatever, we'll probably go like kind of like slowly going back into deck building videos and whatnot, and like deck profiles and things like that. Mainly because I was kind of waiting for the new set to drop so that I can like build with 2 clusters again, because obviously Alice Cluster has rotated out, so there's not really any point in making any decks that are solely Lapis Cluster when literally we're about to start a new cluster anyway. So that was my feeling towards it anyway. But I had a lovely time, guys, and I hope you enjoyed just this small video. It's not a very long video and whatnot, so just another little glimpse of my playmat there. Just be like, yay, playmat, huzzah. But there we go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know how you guys got on with your pre-releases. Did you pull anything amazing? How were your games? Did you get any cool prizes and whatnot? I always want to know, you guys, what you're doing for your pre-releases and everything like that. So until next time, guys, I will see you all later.